Did you know that suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States? Each year, 44,965 Americans die from suicide. And for every suicide, 25 people attempt. However, there are ways of preventing the thought of suicide from crossing a family, friend, or even your own mind. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is the leading national not-for-profit organization exclusively dedicated to understanding and preventing suicides through education, research, and advocacy. Today I'm going to talk to you about the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Since we cannot discuss everything, I will briefly talk about their history, mission, and how they are helping lower the rates of suicides. First, we are going to discuss the history of the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. According to AFSP's website, they have significant dates that discuss important events in their history that have helped shape the organization itself. They were founded by a small group of caring individuals. They were founded back in 1987, and they are now celebrating 31 years. Each founding family has lost a loved one to suicide, so they all have a personal connection, which is one of the reasons why they wanted to create the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They were originally founded to prevent and raise awareness about suicides. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention awarded its first research grants back in 1988. They invested in 17 new research grants, totaling in $4.3 million. In 2002, the first overnight walk was held in Washington, D.C. for suicide prevention, and over 2,000 people attended, and many others volunteered. The AFSP began educating the public back in 2006 about suicide prevention and now have educational programs that reach millions of individuals. Now that we've discussed the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's history, we are now going to discuss its mission. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is dedicated to saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide. They create a culture that is smart about mental health by following these core strategies. They advocate the public policies and mental health in suicide prevention. They do this by attending lawmaking speeches and going ahead and discussing this with other lawmakers and working with scientists to go ahead and find out why a lot of people are dealing with suicide. They're also supporting suicide survivors or those that are affected or have lost their own lives. They are also funding scientific research. AFSP helps make people more aware of suicide and its signs. They've educated hundreds in local communities about suicide and ways to prevent it. They always stay connected and are always available through social media. And they offer so much help with suicide awareness, attempts, loss, signs, and ways to cope and prevent suicide. Now that we have discussed the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's mission, we are now going to discuss what AFSP is doing to lower the rates of suicide. The original founders were worried about the alarming rates of suicide, so they teamed up with scientists to provide essential resources to people struggling with suicidal thoughts and families who lost a loved one. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention set a very bold goal to reduce suicides by 20% by the year 2025. They call this Project 2025. In doing so, they are collaborating with other organizations to spread awareness. They're analyzing who we're losing, how we're losing them, where, and creating strategies to save the most lives in a short amount of time. Their areas of focus are firearms, healthcare systems, emergency departments, and correctional systems. They are working one-on-one with each of these organizations to, again, find out who we're losing, why, where, and coming up with strategies to save these people. Since its founding in 1987, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has done many things to lower the rates of suicide. They have local chapters that are established in all 50 states. They have communicated with hundreds of thousands of people through their website, social media, brochures, and even speakers at their events. Many participated, donated, and volunteered in the Out of the Darkness Walks for Suicide Prevention, where a bunch of people just come together, volunteer, have fun, and raise awareness for such a great cause. Now that we have discussed how the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is lowering the rates of suicide, now we're going to discuss what we discussed today. Today we discussed the information regarding the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I discussed its history, mission, and how they are helping lower the rates of suicide. As mentioned before, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is the leading national not-for-profit organization exclusively dedicated to understanding and preventing suicide through research, education, and advocacy. Think about the amount of people that battle with a mental illness, depression, stress, and anxiety on a daily basis, most of which feel like they have no control and can't deal with the pain any longer. How about all the people who are bullied or is going through a rough patch? These are the people that are committing suicide in our society nowadays. Some stay silent, however, others ask for help, but they don't always receive the help they need. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is willing to help the people struggling from these major signs and what they are doing to try to end up saving these people. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed.